when I feel like I'm gonna hit the end, I'm gonna go around and just eat everybody and just be like, you're mine, and you're mine, and you're mine, and you're mine, and just like get mass leveled up and just be like a tank, and then just go from there. I think is kind of the way I'm gonna play it. Because if I read correctly, I'm pretty sure if you eat somebody, it like will automatically lower the level of the of like the health. Like no matter what, it's gonna lower it to a certain cap. Like here, I had everybody good and I couldn't even get to healthy. So I have no idea how that all
Welcome back
works
to the
out.
Ascalon Club, Lancebearer. Please tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
I did my best.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
I'm not sure I'm the best candidate for such a task.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice, Dr. Reed. I admire a man of principles. But in this matter, there is more at stake than your moral comfort.
It's not a moral question, Lord Redgrave. It's the responsibility of giving immortality to a man I barely know.
Nonsense. Aloysius has been a member of the Ascalon for years. This is but the fruition of a long-held plan.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go,
All right.
how would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
I don't know. He didn't seem like he wanted to drink any blood when I talked to him earlier.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then.
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Goodbye.
Understand.
Goodbye.
Oh, I guess. Okay. So, I guess this is maybe his estate over here. That's great. Alright. Well, let's go level it up. And then, oh.
Are you all right?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
Like, realistically, yeah, get him on board.
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Please tell me.
As long as you lower your voice.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls.
She told me to keep my my voice low, and she's like preaching it out to everybody.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
Interesting.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the Reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me.
No.
Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
Yeah.
Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, my...
So in other words, not probably the best idea to turn him into my, like, homeboy. See, I don't know. I want to be in charge, of course, because, you know, who doesn't want to be the best of the best? But at the same time...
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
So it would seem. How much would it take to eat my mom? Oh, just one. She's cheap. Alright, let's go here. Let's upgrade the sword. And I don't have either of these. I don't have enough for either of those, at least. I do have enough to get the next level here, though, which is good. Get one of those, and then get a handful of those. Cool. Let's level up then. Oh, is that something on the table?
It's locked, all right.
Wonder what that key's for. The key to my dad's office. Huh. Alright, hold on. Let's refill. Boop. Hey, Mom. Don't worry about me. Just going to snoop on Dad's stuff. See all the secret stuff he's been hiding. Now it's just a matter of trying to figure out how in the world to get to where his office is. I don't even know where it is. What is that? Just got money laying around? That's how we doing it these days? Just throwing the money around. Huh. Okay. So it's not there. Is it? It must be upstairs then. Ah, here it is. Okay. First letter, my dear and beloved John. When you receive this letter, you will be 35 and I'll be long gone. I feel a little silly writing you this letter when you won't read for a few years. I struggled for a long time about how to write this until I remembered the puzzle and riddles I invented for you when you were a boy. Oh, how you loved to solve those enigmas. Well, I found it would be a good idea to propose you a final game. It will probably be less rewarding, no candies or exotic treasures for you if you decipher the game this time, but a greater treasure, perhaps the truth. This is my only attempt for you to explain why I chose to leave my family without explanation. If you want to know why, simply play my little game. It's really up to you, my son. Rest assured that I love you. I promise my family was and still is everything to me. I remember the first time I held you and your sister in my arms, my treasures, my jewels. To see you grow up, play, and laugh filled my heart with joy every time I went back to our home. Protect you, my son, my daughter, my wife, but fate found me in the end, and I have make a tough decision. The worst was to disappear without a word. I decided to do it anyway, and soon I'll be gone for good. I don't ask for forgiveness, but for understanding. If you want to know more, all you have to do is remember how happy we were back in those days. If you want to find the next message, think green grass and tall trees on sunny
I remember Sunday walks.
Sundays. Okay. I have a feeling he has something to do with, like, who my maker is. For sure. Is that my dad? Dude, look tight. He's raring to go. I'm assuming that's my sister's room. Well, it's on the way. We'll go ahead and take a little peek at it, since we're headed that way anyways. Alright, let's level up, and then that'll probably do it for today. I will be back tomorrow, but for today, that's going to probably be it. Oh, look at that damage. Oh, yeah. 3,000 points, but it's worth it. Blood spear. Throw a spear made of blood, which can pass through enemies in front of you. Oh, that's a good idea. That's not a bad idea. Get that one. What's this one? Rage. And Blood Cauldron. You focus your power to boil your target's blood, causing it to violently explode, dealing damage to the target and everything nearby. Oh, that's good too. Let's get that one too. Boom. Plus 1 syringe, plus 10% bullets. Well, I think an extra plus 1 syringe will probably be good, because I'm actually using those now. More so at least than I was before. Okay. Here we go. Nothing happening there. Nothing really happening there. Nothing happening there. one person got a little sick. What did they get sick with? Headache. Alright, 23. 23, level 5 sword, and perfect pump action shotgun. I'll take it. Ooh, what I will do is see if I can make, obviously, another one of those. I need to figure out where I can pick up that stuff at. Oh, you know what I should do? Recycle this. There's all kinds of good stuff here. And I think that gave me enough to do this. Yes, it did. Alright. Definitely want the damage. Damage is far more important. To me, at least. Do I want the 5 stun damage? Not really. I think we just go for the full-on firepower. Just pump that weapon up as much as you can. Cool. So that guy's fully upgraded now. This one's fully upgraded also. Oh, I can get some blood stuff though. I did get some of that, so I have 10. I think I just go with a bunch of these, a bunch of the level 1s. It gives me enough blood for what I need, at least. Okay. Well, I think with that, we're gonna call it a night. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate the follow, Megan. It was awesome. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of content. It was a shorter stream today, but hopefully we will be back tomorrow around the same time-ish, 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to come by and hang out again, feel free. I'd love to have some more people hang out with me. It gets lonely all on my lonesome. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. And we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Stay tuned. Thanks, Chad. Appreciate it, man. I guess that'll switch around on Sunday, it looks like, will be when we start the next goal, another 10. So yeah, thanks for watching.